Well, let me begin by thanking the press for being here and thanking everyone else. My fellow Americans, yesterday once again proved that democracy is the heartbeat of this nation, just as it has been the heartbeat of this nation for 2 centuries. And even in the face of a pandemic, more Americans voted this election than ever before in American history. Over 150 million people cast their votes. I think that's just extraordinary. And if we had any doubts, we shouldn't have any longer about a government of, by, and for the people. It's very much alive in America. Here, the people rule. Power can't be taken or asserted. It flows from the people, and it's their will that determines who will be the President of the United States, and their will alone. And now, after a long night of counting, it's clear that we're winning enough states to reach 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency. I'm not here to declare that we've won, but I am here to report when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners. With all the votes counted, we have won Wisconsin by 20,000 votes, virtually the same margin that President Trump won that state 4 years ago. In Michigan, we lead by over 35,000 votes, and it's growing, a substantially bigger margin than President Trump won Michigan in 2016. Michigan will complete its vote soon, maybe as early as today. And I feel very good about Pennsylvania. Virtually all the remaining ballots to be counted were cast by mail. And we've been winning 78% of the votes by mail in Pennsylvania. We've flipped Arizona and the 2nd District of Nebraska. Of special significance to me is that we've won with the majority of the American people. And every indication is that that majority will grow. We have a popular vote lead of nearly 3 million votes, and every indication is that will grow as well. Indeed, Senator Harris and I are on track to win more votes than any ticket in the history of this country that ever won the presidency and vice presidency. Over 70 million votes. I'm very proud of our campaign. Only 3 presidential campaigns in the past have defeated an incumbent president. When it's finished, God willing, we'll be the 4th. This is a major achievement. This is a major achievement. And it's been a difficult time for our country, a hard time. We've had hard campaigns before. We've faced hard times before. So once this election is finalized and behind us, it'll be time for us to do what we've always done as Americans, to put the harsh rhetoric of the campaign behind us, to lower the temperature, to see each other again, to listen to one another, to hear each other again, and respect and care for one another, to unite, to heal, to come together as a nation. I know this won't be easy. I'm not naive. Neither of us are. I know how deep and hard the opposing views are in our country on so many things. But I also know this as well. To make progress, we have to stop treating our opponents as enemies. We are not enemies. What brings us together as Americans is so much stronger than anything that can tear us apart. So let me be clear. We are campaigning as a Democrat, but I will govern as an American president. The presidency itself is not a partisan institution. It's the one office in this nation that represents everyone. And it demands a duty of care for all Americans. That is precisely what I will do. I will work as hard for those who didn't vote for me as I will for those who did vote for me. Now, every vote must be counted. No one's going to take our democracy away from us. Not now, not ever. America's come too far. America's fought too many battles. America's endured too much to ever let that happen. We, the people, will not be silenced. We, the people, will not be bullied. We, the people, will not surrender. My friends, I'm confident we'll emerge victorious. But this will not be my victory alone or our victory alone. It'll be a victory for the American people, for our democracy, for America. And there will be no blue states and red states when we win, just the United States of America. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
The CBC's Susan Ormiston is following along in Wilmington, Delaware, where we just heard Joe Biden speak. Susan, what do you make of Biden's remarks?
Well, I think they're setting the table. He's consistently been one step ahead of the Trump campaign in sort of saying, here's the lay of the land, and this is an update, isn't it? You're right. He didn't say we have won. We are on track to win. We've heard this consistently since last night, but he has more data today. Wisconsin being called for Vice President Biden, and Michigan looking stronger for him. They're still waiting on Arizona and some of the others, Georgia and Pennsylvania, of course, with still quite a few ballots to be counted in Pennsylvania. That's going to take a little longer, but he's sending the message that our lead is growing. We will be able to get to 270. We're winning the popular vote, and it's growing. So we are the legitimate winners of this election as soon as those states have been called. Now, you know, there could be things happen. Votes could come in stronger than expected for President Trump, but all indications trend, they say, in favor of their campaign. So interesting, too, we heard him at the very beginning say, you know, we're speaking to you right now. We may speak to you again tonight. They're waiting for Michigan to get called, and then they'll have a better sense of this election. So, yeah, still in a holding pattern. We've just been in downtown Wilmington talking to people here in Delaware, and you know, one person said to me, I just want it to be over. I just want to know what's on the other side. Another described it as we're in the eye of the hurricane still. We don't know what's coming. And a third person said, you know, we should expect that the president might turn this into a reality show with his legal challenges against this election. So that's where everyone is still.
Susan, it's Andrew here. I just wanted to ask you a couple of things, and Carol jump on in too. You know, the Joe Biden, interesting language, right? It's clear that we're winning in enough states to reach 270. I'm not here to declare that we've won, but confident that we will. I mean, this is as close to the guess, Susan, as you can get to saying, I've won. Joe Biden saying, I've won. And it was interesting, the examples he used, Susan. He says 20,000 votes in Wisconsin. CBC has declared Wisconsin a win for Joe Biden. 35, this is what Joe Biden had to say, 35,000 in Michigan, which is bigger than what Donald Trump won Michigan with back in 2016. And Michigan looks very good for Joe Biden at this point. And he says he feels very good about Pennsylvania. And Susan, this was interesting to me. We flipped Arizona. So Joe Biden, some networks haven't kind of declared Arizona, but Joe Biden certainly feels like he's winning, and the 2nd district of Nebraska. So, you know, Joe Biden kind of saying, in their view, the math is there, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have been saying that since last night. They've been saying that they're confident they're going to win this election. So they're putting some more meat, some more numbers on that assertion, that confidence. I mean, he's been saying that they've got Arizona since last night, even though we haven't called it, and some other networks have not called that either. So they're putting these in the win column before they're actually done and saying we're doing better. But interestingly, a couple of hours ago when we spoke last, Andrew, he was up in Michigan by only 7,000 votes. Now he's up by 35,000, he's saying. So definitely trending in the right direction for him. And we've still got all those ballots in Pennsylvania. Many people believe that he will not win Pennsylvania, that will be Trump territory in the end. But again, he's saying to Americans, we are on the path to winning. Trust that result. Don't be put off. Have faith. Be patient. And we're going to get through this because the legitimate official counting of ballots is still going on, and there's nothing untoward about that. President Trump has launched several legal challenges already and intends to launch more and to counter the vote in Wisconsin and to have another check on that in the coming days and weeks. So it's game on still.
And Susan, when you think about the math, and I don't mean to put you on the spot too much here, but does it look increasingly encouraging for Joe Biden in terms of that 270 threshold?
I'm not in a position to say that, Andrew. I'm not the mathematician on these numbers. To be honest, I haven't had a chance to look at the details of it in the last couple of hours when we've been out talking to voters about how they feel. But I think the indications for sure are that in the states that he needs, so those Midwestern states, Michigan and Wisconsin, he needed at least one of those. He can win this 270 without Pennsylvania, should it go that way, as long as he gets Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, and maybe one other. That's how it seems from the read now. I'm quite interested in when he's going to update the country again, because if Michigan comes in and says, okay, we're done, like Wisconsin did this afternoon, we're done counting, then that's another feather in his cap, really. That's another one that's going to lead him to 270 that's called. And that's the important part. Of course, these ballots have to be certified later on, but the tradition is they're called through various networks and tabulations, and then they're certified later. But it is interesting to note that President Trump is trying to challenge a result of around 20,000 votes in one state, which is very similar to what he won that state by in 2016. And if you think about 2016, there were some very narrow results in several states. So Trump knows what it feels like to be on the other side of this equation. One commentator pointed out that in 2016, Hillary Clinton accepted the result in those narrow states on the evening of the election.
Susan, thank you. That is the CBC's Susan Ormiston live in Delaware.